I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the LED strips I've been working on. Now this is made out of NeoPixel strips. That's the WS2811 strip. These are 60 LEDs per meter. They come in various densities, but that's what I'm using. It costs about $8.25 a meter for that type of strip. It's plugged into a Digispark, which is a small Arduino compatible CPU. They run for about $2 a pop on a board, ready to go. It's got a $1 infrared receiver that I'm using with this $2 remote. This remote, you don't need one of these for every single device, but it's nice to have a few around. This remote programs them, and then you save your programming to the chip when you're done. So you don't need this again later unless you need to change something. It then plugs into a battery pack with a USB cable, so you're talking like probably what, $5 or $6, or you can plug it into the wall with just a USB charger. Right now I've got a little device called the Charge Doctor on here. It shows me how much current the strip is using. This is actually a worst case scenario, being completely on. You're better off having motion and things going on the strip than having lights on, because motion costs you nothing. Pretty much all of your power expenditure is in the lights themselves. Now, what you'll see is whenever I press a button, the strip does flicker a little bit. That's just because the CPU can only have enough power to do either the strip or the infrared, so it has to, stop doing the lighting when it gets one of these commands in. Now, if you have someone, trying to mess with your strips, this can be password protected, where you tap out a code and it doesn't unlock until that's put in. Or, you can simply put a piece of tape over the infrared receiver, like you used to do with an old VCR. You've got 4 main settings. You've got the speed, you've got the width of the section that's lit up. Right now it's full width. You've got the effect, which is either like a Cylon effect or like an up-down effect, or just going up across the strip or down. And then you also got smoothing, and smoothing just blends what's going on together. So first what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this down so that we're only going to have a fraction of the strip lit up. That saves a lot of power already. So you can see it's getting shorter and shorter. There you go. And then what I'll do is I'll change the effect here. Let me just, right now it's off, or just static I should say. Now this is the Cylon effect, and you can see it will just bounce back and forth. We've also got up, where it waits until it gets off screen before it starts again. Down in the same way. We've got back and forth. Let's see. Where's the other back? Oh, there we go. There. Back and forth, but it goes a little further off screen. And then we've also just got up and down. So let me go back to the first Cylon mode. There we go. And what I'll turn on next is I'll just show you, the speed can be slowed way down like this, or you can have it go really fast. Fast is usually better because it fills up more of the strip with less battery power, but you don't want it so fast that it's annoying. Now, we can also adjust the blur, and the blur has several methods. So this is just blurring the edges, both front and back of the bar. We can also set it up so that it will blur only the trailing edge. And now, it's really hard to see this in film, but in person, you will see that only the back side is blurred out. So here, let me slow this down and we'll see if you can actually see it or not. Hopefully it'll show up. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can adjust this even further. Yeah, unfortunately it just doesn't. I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, but you can adjust how that blurs together. Let me let's put this back to where it was now. So I speed that up. And just, yeah. This might be a little bit easier to see. And so what I can do now is I can pick a different color. And I can also... And what I can do here too is I can pick multiple colors. And so if I go, let's say, see if that worked. There we go. And so now every bounce it'll swap colors and it'll just keep going back and forth pretty much forever. And what we can do is make it just go up and swap, or go down, or change the speed. We can adjust the blur. Let's see here. I'm just going to slowly go through the blur settings here so you can see them. The longer the trail, generally the more power it uses, but because the trail is so much dimmer, it's not nearly as hard on the battery. And that it is much less of a concern if you're plugged in. And yeah, like this is so blurred, it's blurring the entire strip together, that you don't get any benefits from. And once you get to something you like, you just hit the save button and it'll remember it. When you turn it off and turn it back on, you don't have to go through and reprogram them all the time. Now, once this is all set up, it can be used for a few years, and if you do want different effects added, you just unplug it from the battery pack, plug it into your computer, and you can re-update the code that's on the CPU. All the code is currently available on GitHub. It's all on my account. I'll have the link in the description, and it's all freely available and freely adjustable.